Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here and you're watching the detailed camera review of the new smartphone from Xiaomi in India, the Redmi 9 Prime. The Redmi 9 Prime comes with a quad camera setup with a primary 13 megapixel sensor and also an 8 megapixel selfie camera. So let's dive deep into the camera to see how it performs. So if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. Let's have a look at the camera hardware. So it sports a quad ray camera with 13 megapixel primary sensor with f2.2 aperture. You also get an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, a 2 megapixel depth sensor and an upgraded 5 megapixel macro sensor. There is also an LED flash included. The front camera is an 8 megapixel shooter with f2.0 aperture. So let's find out how the camera performs. First, let's have a look at the video quality. The phone can shoot videos in 1080p resolution at 30 fps and the quality looks decent. It does not have support for 4K similar to the Redmi Note 9. It has good colors and quite good for the pricing. There is no stabilization offered for the video recording, so it is ideally not suited when you are walking. The bitrate of the video isn't great, but considering the price segment, we would say overall the quality is decent on the Redmi 9 Prime. The phone also packs an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera and the video quality is strictly average. The sharpness levels are also average. The phone can also record macro videos in 1080p resolution with 5 megapixel lens, and this is probably one of the good macro lenses in this price segment. Moving to the photos, the daylight shots taken with the 13 megapixel camera came out decent. The colors are quite good and there isn't an issue with saturation. The details in the photos are again quite good for the price segment it is being offered. There is auto HDR mode and the dynamic range is also good and it resolves shadows pretty well. For a 9999 price segment, the Redmi 9 Prime offers good camera and you won't be disappointed with the overall performance in daylight conditions. The 8 megapixel ultra wide angle shots came pretty average. While it is usable to an extent, the sharpness levels are average and it looks a bit too soft and details are lost. The colors in the ultra wide angle photos were quite okay. There is also Pro Color mode in the camera UI which makes the photos vivid and colors to pop out. This is basically useful for the social media posts and they are richer in color tones. The close-up shots taken with the camera was good and it has good details, decent sharpness levels and overall clarity was good. While it does tend to saturate a bit, the colors aren't bad though. The focusing speed is also quite good and we did not have any issues here. The phone has a 5 megapixel macro sensor and this is probably one of the best macro sensors you will find in this price segment, and it has good details and sharpness levels also. Now moving on to the portrait shot, we felt the portraits are quite good. Xiaomi has been a master in getting good portraits out of their smartphones and the Redmi 9 Prime does a decent job here. You can get bright looking portraits with good edge detection too. The skin tones are also quite okay. The phone also comes with movie mode in portraits which gives you some cinematic portraits. Next, moving on to the low light captures. With f2.2 aperture, the Redmi 9 Prime doesn't do well in low light conditions. If you are in well lit conditions with indoor artificial lights, the images turned out to be decent, but again you could see a lot of noise. When light drops further, in extreme low light conditions, the images turned out to be too noisy, devoid of any details. You will need to use flash in low light conditions. The lack of a night mode also is a deal breaker for many. The low light performance on the 9 Prime was a disappointing one. We expect Xiaomi to improve a bit more in terms of the low light performance. Moving on to the selfie camera, the 8 megapixel shooter can shoot some decent selfies with good details. The dynamic range is also good. The skin tones are also quite okay. We turned off the beauty mode since we like selfies without the beauty mode. Also, selfies are more of a personal choice, so you can judge based on the clarity offered. The phone also comes with portrait mode for selfies and here the edge detection is decent. This is the front facing camera sample taken with the Redmi 9 Prime, so you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the front camera sample. So summing up, how good is the Redmi 9 Prime in terms of the camera? The Redmi 9 Prime has a decent camera for the price segment with good outdoor shots, portraits and also close-up along with good macros. Where the camera falls short is the low light performance, which was quite disappointing. So that was a detailed camera review of the Redmi 9 Prime. So what do you think about the camera on the Redmi 9 Prime? Do share in your thoughts in the comment section. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.